About 2 or 3 years ago, I labeled Dubai the influencer dystopia. And to be honest, it's never been more true. The other day, I was browsing Twitter and I stumbled upon a viral tweet. The video featured a woman hyping up Dubai, or the UAE, and compared it to living in somewhere like LA in the US.
This is why I chose to live in Dubai and not in LA. It's no longer the American dream, it's the Dubai dream.
You see, Dubai is a fool's paradise. It appeals to midwits and attracts corruption. In fact, there are very few redeeming qualities that I could think of about Dubai once you understand how the country came to be and what is under the surface. So in response to the video, the quote tweet says, "I couldn't imagine anywhere I want to live less than Dubai." Which got me thinking, because I agreed. And this tweet went so viral, it has been seen nearly 20 million times with over 60,000 likes. Why? Not only are we going to dissect this video, we're going to find out why Dubai is actually hell on earth. The history of Dubai can be summed up into 3 main parts. Dubai started as a small fishing village with nothing really important going on. But over time, they became rather established in the pearling trade, which attracted the attention of the British. But Dubai wasn't alone, and there were a bunch of other emirates that came together and signed a treaty with the British, known as Trucial States. But everything changed in 1966 when they discovered oil. They quite literally dug up the infinite money glitch, and by 1969, they were exporting oil. This led to absolutely insane economic growth, and by 1971, Dubai joined forces with other emirates, which created the UAE, or United Arab Emirates. By 1985, they decided to dump billions of dollars into making Dubai one of the craziest tourist destinations in the entire world. But why would they do this? The entirety of the Middle East relies on oil as their main source of revenue. Yes, the money pit seems endless. However, there is one glaring problem: diversification. Simply relying on oil, or one resource for that matter, can cause major problems for a nation, so they turn to, drumroll please, tourism, which is exactly why Dubai looks the way it does. The Burj Khalifa, or the tallest building in the world, serves no purpose other than one giant dick measuring contest. It is quite literally a giant penis in the sky. Supposedly, it can accommodate up to 35,000 people, which is funny because there's no sewage system connected to the building. To my understanding, the UAE is actually dumping money into creating a sewer system for Dubai. However, it doesn't exist for the Burj Khalifa, which is why you may or may not have heard of Dubai's infamous poop trucks.
Here's all the poop trucks all lined up. How much, Mark? 10,000 gallons each. The lineup starts here, goes around the corner. That's a lot of poop, baby.
There were so many poop trucks in Dubai at one point that they would routinely cause traffic jams. But what's even worse is because of the insane heat and long lines, some drivers would just dump them in the sand dunes and it would flood into the Persian Gulf. Now you have a bunch of tourists effectively swimming in a toxic soup of shit. There's literally a poop truck traffic jam because they don't have a sewer system connected to the Burj Khalifa. And you would think when you plan for the tallest, most opulent building in the world, you would, I don't know, think of plumbing. But no, and we'll see this routinely with the infrastructure of Dubai. Cutting corners, slave labor, and cheap materials. That is the starter pack for Dubai. They even dubbed their new sewer system the development of the century. For most of you though, you're gonna have to wait for the next Dubai patch update to get the poop trucks out of here. Strategically speaking, in terms of city planning, Dubai runs into a ton of problems. One, it's a desert and gets insanely hot. Dubai also has notoriously bad road designs, with no through line or thought process into how you actually navigate the city. In many anecdotal cases across the internet, people say that in order to get from A to B, you often have to go through C, D, E, and F. The very design of Dubai in and of itself looks like it was created by a 12-year-old playing roller coaster tycoon in a library. They have massive 12-lane highways such as the Sheikh Zayed Road in between skyscrapers. There might be no traffic, but where are you going? All in all, it is a disjointed nightmare of residential residential areas and tall-ass skyscrapers thrown into a ball and called a city. To add to the fact that there is zero cohesion architecturally and functionally, Dubai operates as a theocratic police state. This means that they have some of the most batshit laws to exist. In fact, you're at the mercy of Sharia law. I didn't know this, but poppy seeds are illegal in the UAE as well as other countries in the world. I guess because of opium, but alas, it can land you 20 years in prison. 20 fucking years if you eat a bacon, egg, and cheese at the airport before your flight. You also can't wash a car in public. You can't disrespect the royal family, the country, the city, or Islam. The upper echelon is rife with corruption and nepotism, and it is a liberal's worst nightmare. If you mix Sharia law with a few Western customs, you get Dubai because they want tourists. No same-sex marriage, no public display of affection. For non-nationals, it's believed that there's a bit more leniency, but that's really only for tourists. Because tourists equal revenue, and if they don't have revenue or tourists, their entire plan fails. Yes, there is a very dedicated effort to have tourists in Dubai and the UAE. In fact, other places in the Middle East as well. Lionel Messi was given a $25 million 3-year contract to just tour the Middle East. They quite literally are using influencer marketing to create the facade that it is the place to be. But the interesting thing here is that non-nationals in the UAE or Dubai are poor Africans and Indians that get taken advantage of. These migrant workers are forced into modern-day slavery. Well, let's just call it slavery, because Dubai officials want their city built taller and faster. Here's some stats for you. In 2013, the UAE had the 5th largest international migrant stock in the world, with 7.8 million migrants out of a total population of 9.2 million. That means migrants, particularly migrant workers, make up a majority, approximately 90% of the resident population of the UAE, and account for 90% of its workforce. And they're treated like shit. Here are just some of the ways in which the migrant workers are exploited to make Dubai the very city that it is. Unpaid or delayed wages, confiscation of passports by employers, poor living conditions in labor camps, and restrictions on movement and communication. If you've ever seen a picture or map of Dubai, then you're definitely aware of the infamous palms. The Palm Islands are residential areas that jut out into the Persian Gulf. There are 3 Palm Islands and a group or cluster of islands known as the World Islands. Palm Jumeirah is the only one that is finished. Palm Dira is abandoned and sinking. Palm Jebel Ali, on the other hand, is a barren wasteland that sits so far south it's nearly in the desert. And shit hit the fan so bad for the development of these islands that they have to beg investors to buy real estate to advance the projects. The World Islands, on the other hand, are an entirely different catastrophe. Not to mention, they don't even look like the world. You may be asking yourself, how do they even build these man-made islands in the first place? And that's a great question. Well, they get these giant ocean tankers that scrape the ocean floor and shoot sand a mile away onto the coast. Not only does this completely disturb the entire ecological system known as the ocean, and to top it all off, the sand that they're using is not suitable to build upon, which is why all of the islands are sinking at a 1/5 of an inch per year. Supposedly, the workers are barely fed and have to work insane hours, all while in desert heat. But it gets somehow even worse when it comes to the palms, because they're surrounded by an outer shell that is designed to stop waves from crashing into the inner residences. But what they did was effectively create a giant swamp, stagnant water with no marine life. So you have these beautiful beachfront properties with water that you can't even swim in. Similar to Curacao or the Virgin Islands, Dubai is an attractive destination for dirty money. In fact, it's incredibly easy to launder money and gold because of their lax laws. It's also a popular place for sex tourism, except all of this degeneracy is outlawed, right? As long as it's not in the public view, of course. Something you may also not know about Dubai is their supercar graveyards. If you venture into some parts of the desert, you may find Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys just lying around collecting dust and sand. There's quite literally thousands of abandoned supercars because no one in this place is financially stable besides the elite. These cars are obviously just impulsive purchases. The maintenance on these cars are absurd, and they probably don't have the mechanical industry to service these cars in the first place. So it's easier and cheaper just to let them rot. Dubai is also an extremely popular place for glitzy billionaires and millionaires because there's no tax whatsoever. If you thought it couldn't get even more dystopian, they even have a Ministry of Happiness. By far the darkest topic when it comes to talking about Dubai, and easily my favorite, is their social media astroturfing. For those of you who don't know what astroturfing is, it's defined as the deceptive practice of presenting an orchestrated marketing or public relations campaign in the guise of unsolicited comments from members of the public.
This is why I chose to live in Dubai and not in LA. It's no longer the American dream, it's the Dubai dream. Let me give you a simple example. In US, you could pay up to 37% taxes, when in Dubai, it's absolutely nothing.
You see, if you want to be an influencer in Dubai, you need an influencer license. And along with that license comes some small print. You have to talk highly of Dubai. You cannot criticize it.
In Dubai, there is even an official Ministry of Happiness. That's why there is no homeless on the streets and you always feel safe and secure. While in LA, I have to think twice when I'm wearing my Cartier outside or even go for a walk at night as a woman.
The reason why there's no homelessness in Dubai is because it is illegal to be homeless in Dubai. Oh, go figure. Check this out. There are very few homeless people living in Dubai. This is not due to the fact that Dubai figured out a magic formula to get all of its homeless people off the streets. No. The reason there are so few homeless people in Dubai is because the local law does not permit homeless people to continue living in Dubai, provided they are non-nationals. There are a couple of things you need to know about Dubai's notorious immigration laws. 1, 90% of Dubai's population consists of non-nationals or immigrants. Nationals make up only 10% of the population. Again, 90% of the population in Dubai are non-nationals. Number 2, according to the immigration laws, if you are a member of the city's 90% non-national population, you'll need to legitimize your continued residency in the city by applying to renew your visa every 2 to 3 years. It is then up to the immigration officials to accept or reject your visa renewal. Being homeless is definitely one of the quickest ways to get rejected. If you are rejected, you will legally have to leave the city within 30 days. Hence, very few homeless people live in Dubai. Let's keep going.
Finally, for a city which is only 50 years old, Dubai made the standards so high, especially in real estate. It has banned the rules of architecture with the world record buildings.
No, they've bent the rules of building code, and that's about it. Fucking anywhere but Dubai, holy shit. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about by a coordinated effort by the UAE to astroturf their entire country and or city. They are consciously targeting influencers to talk highly of their city. In fact, it is illegal to talk against it. Most recently, there were dozens of fake accounts promoting UAE ministers. There's also definitely a chance you've seen influencers in Dubai showing off how beautiful the beaches are and how sick the views are. Look how tall the buildings are. It's the best place to live. There is an entire market of Instagram models being flown out to Dubai to party on yachts and drift away in the sands, but that is far from reality.